Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. It is Memorial Day weekend, so that's one of the weekends where Stormville has its flea market. It was very hot, very sunny at the market, and generally speaking, I normally don't go to Labor Day Stormville, but given this might be the last year of the market, it appears as if the property at the minimum is up for sale. At the maximum is sold, and the first person who had dibs on it wanted to put houses there, and that fell through. And it looks like the second person who has dibs on it is in front of the planning board to do something with cars, like a Carfax type thing. And that could be the end of Stormville if all their paperwork goes through, and it probably would take all summer, but then this could be like the last summer of Stormville. So I figured I would go just to make sure I get the most out of it before it's gone. Did manage to come up with a few good deals. These sweatshirts, hooded zipper sweatshirts, they were $5 each. I picked up 3 of them. They're in my size. So my favorite is still the one that kind of did the meltdown when I put too many sparks on it. But some people don't particularly care for that color. I personally don't care because I don't look at myself. So there we are. Second thing I got, I needed some heavy bolts, and there's 3 of these in this bag. They were $2. Not exactly a giveaway, but I wanted something fine thread. I'm after this for that triple tree project on the 200S. I'm trying to put that 200X triple tree and the whole front suspension. So I bought it for that. While I was going through the guy's stuff, he had a bunch of stuff. He also had these fine thread, very hard steel. You could tell by the click. I think they're drilled to turn them into shear bolts, I think, right? I mean, obviously if you drill a hole through them, makes them weaker, right? And I don't know. I think they're meant for shear. I don't know, but that's what I was thinking. Anyway, they were interesting, and you could see they were $2. Then my quest for American-made tools. I got some of the people I meet are always interesting. I have a guy who does clean-outs down Westchester way, and he doesn't seem to have any trouble running across hoarders down there. I guess there's still some old piles of stuff, and he came up with these tools. If you guys could read that, it's Crescent, Jamestown, New York, and the wrench looks like it was never used. So this was all in the dollar stuff. This is also Crescent, Jamestown, New York. It's got the old bend to it. This just says, I don't know what this symbol is. It looks like a laying down E, and then it says WEC. Pair of cutoff pliers, cutting off down low. So they were very fine file. I had some threads I had to clean up on something, actually a front axle bolt for a Honda ATC 200, and a lot of times with these files you can kind of get right in there and clean up the threads really nice, especially on the end where somebody decided to put a hanger or a hammer to them and dent them up. So you can clean them up with it nice with a file like this. And lastly, this just says drop forged. We used to call these battery pliers because with the angle and so forth in the olden days when they used to basically they were 7/16 or half-inch bolts that used to go through the battery terminal to hold them on. Pliers like this had just the right angle so that you weren't like shorting the hot post or anything, or shorting the two posts together when you were taking the terminal off. So I picked them up just kind of for nostalgia's sake. So that's all the good news. The bad news is, last time I had this out, I overloaded it, and I didn't do an inspection of it, which I should have done before I took it out, before I put it on the truck. But I put it on the truck, and when I was taking it off the truck to use it, it rolled a short distance, and the wheel snapped off. So I didn't do a pre-inspection, flea market inspection, and the cart ended up having to sit it out. When I had it out last time, I really overloaded it, and I think I finished it off. Luckily, I think also the sun is not good for the plastic. So anyway, I bought a spare. I bought another one, so I have a spare one to use. And now as I do my adventures, I'm gonna have to keep, I should probably take this little piece of plastic off and keep my eyes open for a set of wheelbarrow tires or whatever. So obviously the rumors about Stormville are exactly what they should be considered, rumors. Though you know, one person claims to have spoken to the woman owner, and one person claims to have spoken to the daughter, and one to the son, and one to the husband, and they all have a different story. So I have a tendency to scratch my head about all of them. Doesn't surprise me that they would be selling the place, because the folks that own it are getting to the point where they'd like to spend more time relaxing and less time working their tails off. So putting on the flea market is kind of a big deal. They have a lot of the food concessions, plus the logistics of opening it and coordinating with the cops for traffic control, coordinating with all the other people for ice cream and everything else it needs. It's not a trivial undertaking, and something you probably don't mind doing if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe even your 60s. But as you're on your way toward your 70s, you begin thinking to yourself, hey, with the time I have left, maybe I want to be doing something that's a little more fun. So it wouldn't surprise me if they're going to get rid of it. For me, my plan is to be there for you know, if it's open 6 times this year, I'll be there 6 times. The next time it's going to open is in the middle of June. They have the garage sale at Stormville. So for anybody within, you know, an hour or so of the Hudson Valley, it's worthwhile. I mean, you want to get there for about 8 in the morning, 7:30. If you try to get there at 9, you're going to be sitting in traffic while everybody buys all the bargains up. So, you know, you want to be there. Really, 7:30 is better than 8. 7 is better than 7:30, except as you start getting earlier, sometimes it gets hard to get in because they don't like early birds all that much. So if you get there before 7, you can have trouble getting in too. But anyway, that's like a gigantic garage sale, like a 500-person garage sale. And the nice thing about a 500-person garage sale, and the nice thing about garage sailors, is typically they're not doing this for a living. I mean, I got a deal on these because the guy didn't want to summer them. He wanted to get rid of them. You know, you end up with more stuff like this. Somebody who ends up with, you know, grandpa's tools, and they weigh a lot, and they got them to the market because they decided they're finally selling them, and you get a good deal because they don't want to bring them back home and load them up. So middle of June. Okay, everyone, I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. You don't know how many you're getting, so make sure you have fun. Bye now.